Great play call, great pass, great reception. That play had it all.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop, you ain't here, I'm the real truth. Hunters, real blue, strips on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew. They say you don't visit the hood, dog, I still do. A real one, only difference.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Ay, I'll pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can shoot it, live in the moon, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with
It's week 18 of the 2024 season, and we'll see Christian Watson. He's one of the league's best, currently third in the NFL in receiving yards. It's the Packers and the Falcons, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, you look at the Packers in this matchup. We know how good they are throwing the football, #1 in the league. But they're in for a stern test here.
Without question, because they're facing the best defensive unit in the NFL. They've got speed at every level on that side of the ball. Everyone can run, and that leads to a situation where something's got to give.
Set to go, Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And off we go on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Here we go with the Packer offense, guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. We can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, Can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. D4 in there to drop him at sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a third and long. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, that they get to it.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense had their script together on this one. And their script said put the quarterback down and do it fast.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on third and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken at the 46. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. As we take a peek at their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native and former Oregon Duck, Marcus Mariota.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much. I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number 1, including himself.
Runs over it. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Falcons. Kareem Hunt with a milestone career touchdown number 100. Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list. And the Falcons are on the board first here this afternoon. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Crew able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shot at playoff football. That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Rodgers going to throw. Open man, Amari Rodgers complete. This defense for the Falcons, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. Take it at the 37. A good head-down running on the return. Gets about 15 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Shoves him away. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. A give right side now to Hunt. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kareem Hunt with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Falcons are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
He's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing is Rodgers. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Aaron Siposs on to punt as he'll get this one away now. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fielded at the 43. Powers through him. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. That's into the hands of Edwards. Down inside the 10, and they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play there on the catch and run. 33 yards.
You can feel the effort all the way up here. He tried his best to get there. Didn't quite make it, but down around the 2-3 yard line, got to love the effort, and especially the big play that gave his offense a great opportunity.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Here's Mariota. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
21-0 our score after 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, and that's caught by Rodgers. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 40. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. The Packers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. To throw is Rodgers. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Surprised at all that they went with a fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive. Give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up 1st downs. That's what we just saw right there.
Now Rodgers, wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now Rodgers. That's complete right around the 8. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They go back to the ground with Jones. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Rodgers now to throw. Touchdown! Sammy Watkins from 4 yards out. And the Packers get a bit closer. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
And out across midfield down to the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mariota. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Preston Smith in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. 2 touchdown passes for Kirk Cousins there. From there, let's head to the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, to check in on the Broncos. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Chuba Hubbard, a touchdown run in the victory. And on now to a check on the next-gen stats in that first half for the Packers. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. We're just about set to get back to it. Both teams making their final adjustments, and we'll head back to Atlanta and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 24. Throwing, Mariota. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's first and 10 here. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. Down right around the 25. Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw, it's Rodgers. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He put that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a first and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones. That's his 19th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers use the short field to get in for 6. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
and you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Folk connects on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Mariota. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year. 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020s, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Rodgers. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Watkins. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
on now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's taken to the 26. 34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way.
And it will be Falcon football.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And the Packers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down, Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And complete to Drake London. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
From the 27, Mariota.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 3rd down, Mariota. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. On first down, Rodgers. He's got nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. This is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll start out here with the option left. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Hunt. Touchdown, Falcons. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense can miss too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time, he had the speed to win that race.
Koo now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And they have secured that spot in the playoffs, clinching the NFC North Division, in fact. So for the moment, they would be hosting a wild card game in round 1.
And I think it is cause for celebration. Let's not get hung up on the fact that only one team now gets a bye in the first round. Win your division, get to the playoffs, celebrate that, and by the way, they are guaranteed a home game. That's a good way to start the playoffs.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers, and his throw here's incomplete. This offense on 3rd down today, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers going to throw. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he's going to have a Packers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. That one caught downfield by Watson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it, they do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Saying down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Falcons offense set to go. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. 1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 44. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And some room to run now. Touchdown, Falcons! Kareem Hunt, 56 yards. And the Falcons look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 142 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. Only needing 2 yards on second down. They run again with Hunt. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Coup for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Coup to kick off. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He finds Watson complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Rodgers again now. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Arnold Ebiketie picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing is Rodgers. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Arnold Ebiketie able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach, plenty to say about this game.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. As this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Falcons, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the loss means they'll finish up the regular season at 10-7. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card.
I just scraped it off the top, cut it on the road, on the earth, on the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that baby, the mental line. Whenever she calls, do what I gotta do. I'm moving with a two, I paid it on the phone. Yeah, tell me what I gotta do. Pull up in a bucket crew, one for me and one for you. Yeah, like with the roof. I'm off the chain, don't cut me loose. Yeah, I'm off the chain, I'm off the noose. Yeah, getting picked off Bentley white like cotton. Residential so good, my doors don't gotta lock 'em. Watch the dirty money with oxy. I miscount cause I'm off a... Yeah, these bigger than a damn proxy. Call my he said copy. Get that plug like a boogie. I like riches, hit like nookies. You ain't scared of no, but you scared to put on your hoodie. Man, my like Woody. I just scraped it off the top, cut it on the road, on the earth, on the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that baby, the mental line. Whenever she calls, do what I gotta do. I'm moving with a two, I paid it out of phone.
Convoy, 100 carats on my neck, my boy. That 100 bunny rabbits tryna get my boy. From the cabbage I collect, my boy. Heard you is gorillas, let me check, my boy. Say nothing silly, you regret, my boy. Cause we got banana on the my boy. And I can send it in a text, my boy. Thumbs up or the emoji with the flex, my boy. Personalize every threat, my boy. Toll free. That's direct, my boy. And if you need a couple, I'm the connect, my boy. Off the top.
I just scraped it off the top, cut it on the road, on the earth, on the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that baby, the mental line. Whenever she calls, do what I gotta do. I'm moving with a two, I paid it out of phone.
for me, who could be against me? I guess all the